Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something lots of us get tempted by. Those ads for incredibly chic, premium-looking jewelry at prices that just seem, well, almost impossible.
Yeah, that promise of luxury without the luxury price tag. It's very alluring.
Exactly. So is it a smart shortcut? Or is it basically a field of red flags? We're going deep on one specific name that keeps popping up. Astoria Jewelry.
Right. And Atoria's pitch is, honestly, quite compelling. They show these stunning designs. They talk about premium materials, sterling silver, gold vermeil.
Fancy terms.
Very fancy. And they even throw in a lifetime guarantee. It looks like the perfect deal, doesn't it? High-end style, low cost.
It really does. And that's why we need to look closer. Because as soon as you try to figure out who they actually are, well, you start hitting some walls.
Yeah, the usual defenses you see with these kinds of operations.
So let's talk about those first red flags. What stands out immediately?
Well, first off, how new it is. Our sources found the website domain was only registered back in July 2024. That's a super recent for an established brand feel.
Okay, very new.
And crucially, there's this real lack of openness. Like, you can't find a physical business address anywhere. Contact. It's just an email form.
No phone number, no active social media presence that feels legit.
Nope. Zero verifiable footprint beyond the storefront itself. It feels less like a new business finding its feet and more like, well, something designed to be temporary. Maybe a quick cash grab setup.
That makes sense. And that kind of intentional mystery, it usually extends to the product itself, right? They advertise these massive discounts.
Huge discounts, often 50%, 70% off, supposedly high original prices.
But those low prices lead straight to the main issue. What people are actually getting in the mail. Is it matching the photos?
Overwhelmingly, no. That's the core complaint we saw again and again. What arrives often looks, frankly, nothing like the glossy, high-res photos on their website.
So instead of premium materials,
people report getting items with really cheap plating. You mentioned gold vermeil. What people seem to get is a very thin coating that wears off almost immediately. Yet stones are described as dull, the construction feels flimsy, sometimes the colors are just off. It's not just slightly lower quality, it sounds like fundamentally cheap stuff that feels like it'll break right away.
which seems to be exactly what happens. But it's not just poor quality, is it? We saw reports of something more like a bait and switch.
Definitely. That came up a lot. People ordering a specific ring or necklace design.
And getting something totally different.
Exactly. Or
Right.
getting incomplete orders. This one was kind of wild. Multiple reports of ordering a pair of earrings and only receiving one. Just one earring.
Wow. Okay, so that lifetime guarantee they mentioned earlier.
Seems like pure marketing fluff. How can you guarantee something for life when reports say the gold finish wears off after just a few wears or pieces literally fall apart? The guarantee feels completely disconnected from the actual product experience.
So, okay, the product is a letdown, maybe even the wrong item entirely. What happens when you try to get your money back? That's the next hurdle, isn't it? The customer support experience.
Oh yeah. This is where it often becomes a real nightmare. Customers trying to get a refund or return something run into these incredibly long, complicated instruction forms.
Designed to make you give up.
It certainly feels that way. And then there's the shipping. Frequently, they tell customers, sure, you can return it, just ship it back to this address, which turns out to be in China.
Ah, and you have to pay for that shipping yourself.
Precisely. At your own expense. Now think about it. If you paid, say, $30 for a piece of jewelry, is it worth paying $15 or $20 in international shipping to maybe get your $30 back?
Probably not. The friction is the point.
Exactly. It discourages returns. And even if you push through, the customer service is often described as non-responsive. Or they just send scripted replies, maybe offering a tiny store credit instead of a real refund. Getting actual cash back seems incredibly difficult.
Okay, so the internal experience dealing directly with Astoria sounds pretty bad. What about the wider view? What do third-party review sites and scam detectors say?
The picture there is pretty bleak, too, and consistent. On Trustpilot, Astoria Jewelry has a really low score, something like 2.2 out of 5 stars.
Ouch.
Yeah, and it's swamped with one-star reviews detailing all the issues we've just talked about. Beyond user reviews, those scam detection tools like Scam Advisor or Scam Detector,
What do they say?
they flag the site as high risk or untrustworthy. These tools look at things like server stability, the domain's history, where the site is hosted, the lack of transparency, and they put it all together. High risk is a serious warning sign. It suggests the site operates with deliberately hidden information, which is classic for these temporary, potentially fraudulent online stores.
Right. So putting it all together, the mountain of consistent user complaints, the lack of transparency from the company itself, the recent domain registration, the external warnings, it strongly suggests this is, at best, an extremely high-risk place to shop.
Absolutely. It behaves less like a legitimate retailer and more like, well, a gamble. You might get something, but the odds seem stacked against you getting what you thought you were buying.
So if someone listening is still tempted by those rock-bottom prices, what's the advice?
Look, if you absolutely must try it, despite all these warnings, then you need to minimize your risk drastically. Our recommendation is only buy the very cheapest thing they offer. Don't splurge.
Okay.
And critically, pay using a method that offers strong buyer protection, like a credit card or PayPal, where you have a clear process for disputing charges if things go wrong.
Good point. And be prepared for.
Be prepared for hassle.
Yeah.
Be prepared that you might not get what you ordered, that it might be low quality, and that getting a refund could involve sending it back overseas at your own cost, potentially getting you nowhere. Go into it with very, very low expectations.
Which really brings us to the final thought, doesn't it? For you, the listener, in this world of instant online shopping and tempting deals, when you encounter a discount that feels truly unbelievable, how much risk are you actually willing to take? How much of your time, your money, your peace of mind are you willing to gamble for that potentially impossible bargain?
Yeah, it's something to really consider next time you see that perfect item advertised with a lifetime guarantee
Right.
from a store you've never heard of before.